Now at 10, a new clinic in Iola, Kansas will soon take the place of 3 VA clinics. Plus, a school bus fire leads to a scary situation in Joplin, but no injuries. And kids in Carthage, Missouri kick off a week-long Chiefs celebration with Mahomes Monday.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Hundreds of area veterans will soon have a big change in their health care options. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. 3 VA clinics in the area will close as the VA Eastern Kansas healthcare system opens a new community-based outpatient clinic in Iola, Kansas. KOAM's Fernandez Silva has that story.
Veterans who receive care in Fort Scott, Garnett, and Chanute will transfer their care to the new Iola clinic. So that's how I knew that they were closing.
Tamitago is one of more than 850 veterans who will be impacted by the closure of 3 VA clinics in southeast Kansas. He fears the changes will be a hardship for some fellow veterans.
I can still do it. I mean, I'm fairly good health, but there's people that's not, and older and can't get around as good and have trouble seeing and everything else.
It takes Tamitago about 25 minutes to drive from his home to the current Fort Scott VA clinic. But once they move to Iola, if he chooses to go there, the drive should take about 50 minutes.
There is that concern of drive time. One thing is a lot of telehealth. We're trying to push that out a little further to that area.
According to the VA officials, the clinics being closed are part-time ones. They say the new location will offer full-time services 5 days a week.
The veterans who are currently patients at the 3 clinics that are closing, they are welcomed in the new Iola clinic, but they could also choose to go to the one in Parsons or in Kansas City. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes. This consolidation to one central location affords them an opportunity to still receive care, to choose where they want to receive care.
They also say the changes are a chance to provide additional services they were not able to provide in part-time clinics.
We're looking at all options of what their needs, what they may be eligible for, and really trying to make it as easy as it can be when a change and a transition occurs.
Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
The Iola VA is expected to open this spring. You can watch the complete interview with the VA's officers on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. There you can also find details about the in-person information sessions this week, offering information in Garnett, Chanute, Iola, and Fort Scott. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice Monday for us today. Temperatures back into the 50s. We had the rain over the weekend, which kind of stinks on the weekend, but we needed it. So 56 was our high, well above our average high of 47 degrees. We started at 34 during the morning hours. In fact, we're going to warm up a little bit more as we go through the next couple days. All right, no rain today, but for the month, and it all occurred this weekend, almost an inch at the Joplin Airport. So almost 3 inches for the year. We're above where we were at this time last year, so that's good. Temperatures upper 30s to lower 40s. Will drop back near freezing later on tonight. Pretty much clear skies. We're going to stay with the clear skies as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. We'll drop back to about 32, but I do think we're going to see some patchy fog. So if you're going to be on the roads late tonight into the morning, watch out for that. Of course, we're going to look at our next storm system coming up here in just a bit.
See you soon. Some people in Joplin, Pittsburgh, and elsewhere around the 4 states felt an earthquake on Friday that was centered in Prague, Oklahoma. Did not cause any serious damage in our area, but it might have some people wondering if insurance would provide coverage against earthquakes and at what cost.
So right now, insurance companies we're not seeing much concern because earthquake rates haven't shot up. They've been pretty stable. But if there's more and more fracking, if there's more concern of earthquakes, we will see those rates increase.
Many insurance companies stopped insuring against earthquakes in the 1990s after projections suggested that a major earthquake could potentially bankrupt them. No one was hurt in a Joplin school bus fired this afternoon Investigators tell us 15 to 20 kids were on the bus when a fire started in the engine compartment of that bus around 3. That was on South Range Line, just off I-44. All the kids and the driver managed to get out safely. Police, fire, and ambulance workers from Joplin and Newton County all responded to the 911 call, but again, no one was hurt. Every February, students at Webster Primary in Webb City, Missouri learn about the inner workings of the heart by running and hopping and crawling. They perform the various activities carrying red and blue balls, demonstrating demands on our cardiovascular system. Students from Missouri Southern's Elementary Education Department were invited to help.
I felt like a little kid again. I was going through the tunnels with him and jumping over, and I could tell that he really enjoyed it, and he had a lot more fun, it seemed like, having a partner with him and just being able to like race, and it was just super fun.
It keeps your body moving.
February is Heart Awareness Month. Students in Carthage Elementary Schools today celebrated the 100th day of class. Kindergartners have been counting to this day all year. Students created special projects to mark the occasion. Their teachers also designed activities to help students celebrate, including 100 licks of a lollipop and various artworks. Teachers and students also dressed as if they were 100 years old.
It's a big day for kindergarten. It's a number that we don't normally see as 5 years old. So it's just really important. We count by 10s, we count by 100s. It's also one of our standards in kindergarten.
Kindergarten teachers say students have around 70 more days of school, and they're going to keep counting those as well. Carthage students had another big reason to celebrate with the Super Bowl coming up. Well, they're taking part in a special Super Bowl Spirit Week. Students dressed up as Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes for Mahomes Monday. The students wore Mahomes' number 15 jersey and his iconic headband.
I am dressing like Patrick Mahomes because we are having Super Bowl Spirit Week.
And we encouraged kids to dress up like Patrick Mahomes and show their spirit for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Special days honoring the Chiefs' journey to the Super Bowl will continue the rest of the week. Other themes include Reed Wins Day, W-I-N-S Day, and Travis Throwback Thursday. Later in sports, some local standout athletes signed their letters of commitment. John's going to have details on who's making the move to the next level. But first, the impact of a cancer diagnosis for King Charles III.
Get the Samsung Galaxy S24 on us, US Cellular.
The British royal family is facing a significant new health challenge. Buckingham Palace says King Charles III has been diagnosed with an undisclosed form of cancer and has begun treatment. The palace says the king is resting at home. Ian Lee has the latest.
Buckingham Palace says King Charles will carry on with state business and won't hand over his roles as head of state while he undergoes treatment for cancer.
Constitutionally, the King Charles ship sails on. What we're not going to see is a lot of him, in person on public duties for the next one, for how long it takes for him to have this treatment.
The palace says outpatient treatment of the king has begun. The form of cancer he has was not disclosed, but the palace says it's not related to the king's recent treatment for a benign prostate condition. In a statement, the palace says when the 75-year-old king spent 3 nights in a London hospital last month, a separate issue of concern was noted.
It sounds like it was found unexpectedly as part of the procedure on the prostate. But the palace is not telling us where the cancer is, what the tissue type is, or how it was found. We do know that it is not prostate cancer.
The palace also said King Charles, quote, remains wholly positive about his treatment and looks forward to returning to full public duty as soon as possible. President Biden reacted to the news about the most prominent British royal who ascended to the throne less than a year and a half ago.
Concerned about him, just heard his diagnosis. I'll be talking to him, God willing.
The office of Prince Harry and his wife Meghan says Harry will be traveling to the UK to see his father in the coming days. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Palace also says the king, quote, has chosen to share his diagnosis to prevent speculation and in the hope it may assist public understanding for all those around the world who are affected by cancer. Authorities have arrested 2 suspects in a weekend shooting death in Coffeyville, Kansas. Police are seeking second-degree murder charges against 28-year-old Michael McGinnis Jr. of Liberty, Kansas, and 50-year-old William McGinnis of South Coffeyville, Oklahoma. They're under arrest for the shooting of 39-year-old Raymond Burnett at a Coffeyville, Kansas home Saturday night. Burnett has since died at the hospital. Authorities have not yet released many details. Authorities in Independence, Kansas charged this man, Jesse Lewis, with attempted first-degree murder. Independence prosecutors allege Lewis attempted to kill Mary Lou Van Oster by stabbing her. Lewis then fled the scene and was ultimately taken into custody by the Independence Police Department. Bond will not be set. Lewis faces multiple other charges, including criminal threat with cause to commit terror or fear. Lewis's next hearing is set for February 13th. A grim reminder to be aware of deer in our area. A motorcycle driver traveling north on K3, 4 miles north of Bronson, Kansas, collided with a deer that ran out of a ditch. The driver, Darren Harslerod of Iola, died after leaving the road, hitting the ditch, and overturning multiple times. Authorities say he was not wearing a helmet. The Independence, Kansas Police Department announces a new online crash reporting system. It allows users to report any non-injury accidents that occur within city limits, whether they happen on public streets or private parking lots. You can learn more on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Scientists at Duke University have recorded an ultra-fast movement by the HIV virus that begins the infection. They found the structure snaps open and shut on the human T cell in just a few millionths of a second. Officials hope the finding leads to an antibody that prevents the virus from opening. And people with mild COVID-19 infections are likely to develop sleep issues. Vietnamese researchers looked at more than 1,000 adults who did not need to be hospitalized. 76% reported experiencing insomnia, and 22% said their symptoms were severe. Rates of insomnia were higher for people with anxiety or depression. Doug's up next with his forecast. A little bit later, a Royal Star player will soon make a king's ransom. John's going to have details on that record-breaking new contract.
Wade's RV wishes you great adventure and safe travel.
Only at Casey's.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Monday for us today. We had sunshine returning and temperatures not that bad. Most of us into the mid-50s during the afternoon. It looks good out there right now. Of course, we're looking from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam on top of Cornell, looking northeast through downtown Joplin. We're dry after the rain that we saw over the weekend. Temperatures dropping back, most of us upper 30s to lower 40s at this point in time, but I do think we'll back down near freezing later on tonight. Plus, it was a little bit breezy today. The winds have kind of calmed down. So as we get closer to that dew point and the wind's fairly calm, we're going to get some patchy fog out there late tonight into the morning hours. So watch out for that. All right, the winds stay decently light tomorrow. They start to switch back out the south. But look at this. They get moving again. Tomorrow night and into Wednesday, we're going to return with gusts kind of in that 30 upwards to 35 mile per hour range, maybe even a little bit stronger once we get into Wednesday evening. Clear skies, we look fine as we go through the rest of the overnight hours tonight. This is kind of our weather right now. We have a big ridge of high pressure to our west. That will give us pretty good conditions for the next couple days. Then we'll start to focus on our next storm system, which is out across the western third of the country. That will start to affect us by Thursday. Not a lot of moisture, but it will change our weather up some. All right, let me walk you through the week. We're going to stop this early tomorrow morning, 32 Stockton, 33 in Monette, Miami 30, Pittsburgh 32. As we go through the morning, we should get into the low to mid 50s by noon. Most of us right around 60 or 61 during the afternoon. Clouds increase tomorrow night. Will stay dry, nothing underneath them, and we won't get as cold. We'll drop back into low to mid 40s. On Wednesday, a lot of clouds. Those winds start to pick up across the region, but still, we're going to have high temperatures, 59 Fort Scott, 62 in Miami, Bentonville, up to about 60 degrees. Wednesday night, a few random light showers. Trying to get in here. Here's about midnight, some spotty little showers pushing through into Thursday morning. Not a huge deal, but we are going to have some showers out there. All right, here's your day planner for you. Tuesday, 51 by 11, 57 by 1, 60 by 3 p.m. So even warmer than what we saw today. All right, so this system pushes through on Thursday. Get a break on Friday. Look good. Lower 60s. Overall, Saturday looks pretty good. We have clouds increasing, but if we go into Super Bowl Sunday, a lot of people go into Super Bowl parties. We are going to have to watch for the potential of some rain pushing through, maybe even switching over to a little bit of snow by the time we get into Sunday night. So we'll watch that as we go through the week. All right, let's go 60 on your Tuesday, 61 on Wednesday, 66 on Thursday with those showers early. Friday, great. Saturday, pretty nice. Showers, cooler, back in on Super Bowl Sunday.
Doug, thanks. Hey, speaking of Super Bowl Sunday, you won't be surprised to hear it is the biggest sports gambling day of the year, and this year is expected to be no different. The bets take all kinds of shapes and sizes. When it comes to prop bets, there's virtually no limit to what you can bet on. From the coin toss to the last play, fans can even wager on things like whether Taylor Swift makes it to the game on time. I bet you she will. Still ahead, the Royals and Bobby Witt Jr. agreed to a record-breaking contract extension. And 2 high school football teammates at Lamar commit to the same college. John Dales has those stories and more coming up next in sports.
High school signing days later this week. That's Wednesday. We'll bring you to several high schools in the area that have athletes heading to the next level. In the last day, several football standouts make their college commitments, one of them being Joplin signal caller. Joplin quarterback Hobbs Gooch commits to Benedictine College. He announces on Twitter. The Eagle QB is coming off a senior year where he threw for just under 1,700 yards and 15 touchdowns while starting 10 games. He also led Joplin to a road playoff win over Kickapoo and an appearance in the district championship. 2 standouts from Lamar make their college commitment as well. Kyler Nance and Ian Googie are teammates with the Tigers, led them to a Class II state championship this year. Now they'll remain teammates in college, both of them committing to Southwest Baptist University in Bolivar. Each of them are first-team All-State performers in 2023. Nance at linebacker and Googie as an athlete. The playoffs aren't here yet for Oklahoma high school basketball. We've got to wait another week and a half for that, but we do know what the playoff bracket looks like. In Class 2A, Afton will host the District 6 playoff game with Quapaw boys and girls, the visitors. The Eagles girls team is the number 11 team in the state in the most recent OSSAA rankings. And the Owls boys team, number 8 in the state. Both games are going to be played next Friday night. Still in Class 2A, the winners from both of those games will play the winner from both of these games. The District 7 playoff, which is held at Wyandotte. The next round will be at Fairland the following Thursday night. Wyandotte and Quapaw each have 4 regular season games left before getting to the playoffs. And over to Major League Baseball, the Royals made history this afternoon. They ensure one of their franchise cornerstones will stay in Kansas City for the foreseeable future. According to ESPN, the Royals and Bobby Witt Jr. agreed to an 11-year, $288 million contract extension. Witt just finished his second Major League season. He's 23 years old. The deal includes a clause that allows him to opt out after the 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th years. He led the major leagues in triples last season, is the first Kansas City player to hit 30 homers and steal 30 bases in a season, and this is the largest contract in Royals franchise history. Wrapping things up with college basketball, 40 minutes, not enough for the Sunflower Showdown between 4th-ranked Kansas and Kansas State. As it stands right now, KSU up 1 in overtime. The Wildcats took the lead on an Arthur Kaluma layup in the last 30 seconds of regulation, but KU responds to send it into overtime. Just something about when those two get together, you get good games. The last time Kansas played an overtime game before tonight, last year at Kansas State.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of fans in Kansas, for one team or the other, are biting their fingernails tonight. We'll be right back. The kids at Bixby East Intermediate School in Bixby, Oklahoma, put their creative heads together to make Valentine's Day cards for veterans. Staff then shipped the well wishes to the Claremore Veterans Home in Claremore, Oklahoma. Caring for the veterans hit close to home for some of the kids.
Notices the kids love it. Many of them have a grandparent or who is a veteran, or a parent who's currently actively serving or was recently became a veteran, and it's just been a great fit for them. They love the opportunity to make the Valentines and to tell the veterans that they may get their Valentine that their parent or grandfather or grandmother or even was in the service.
Hey, if you want to donate a Valentine to the Claremore Veterans Home, well, you can. All you have to do is drop it off at Triad Eye Institute in Grove through February 12th. Here's Doug.
Well, it looks like another pretty good day for us on Tuesday. Quite a bit of sunshine. High temps are right around 60 degrees, 61 on Wednesday. Now, the winds are going to pick up, plus we're going to have a lot of clouds, but still turning out to be a pretty good day. We are going to get some showers in here Wednesday night and Thursday morning, high of 66, and on Friday, high temps 64.
Sounds pretty nice. Final sports note.
It is media night at the Super Bowl in Vegas, and a 49er heavy crowd booing Travis Kelce pretty loud tonight. He said, hey, that just gets me fired up. I'm ready to play the game tonight.
Bring it on. Bring it on. Yeah, I guess it's not a far trip really from San Francisco to Vegas. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.
On KOA